Today, I'm going to go through the setup of setting up a Google Display Network campaign. A lot of people get confused as to how to target, how to set up. So I'll try and simplify as much as I can today, and I'll show you how we set up Google Display campaigns. So let's get started. And you click on the plus campaign and new. Now you have a choice of your objectives over here. Sales, leads, most of the time is only going to be these two, but if you want to go after website traffic or brand awareness, then you can select those as well. That's how Google is going to optimize those campaigns. Majority of the time it will be one of these. I will go with leads. Now here the interface has changed recently, and people sometimes get confused as to why so many conversion goals are coming up over here. Well, it doesn't harm, because you can track phone calls, leads, submit lead forms, any kind of engagements or purchases. We don't have purchase on our site, so I can remove it from here, or any other conversions which I don't want. So for example, engagements like a click on a video, or scroll to the bottom of the page, time on site, a view of a certain page. If I don't want to track those, I can remove it, or I can leave it over here and not include it in the conversion columns. I'm happy with all this, and now we have the campaign tab we need to select. This is the display one. You'll find the new, which it says new over here, the Performance Max, which Google is pushing quite aggressively. And we have found that this is starting to perform very well, and it goes against everything I have learned and I have taught to everyone, that is to keep the search and the display campaigns separate. This one has got everything in it: search, display, video. So don't know how it works, but it works wonderfully well if you can get it going. And I would say around 30 to 40% of our accounts we have started running and seeing good results with Performance Max, and we are launching this Performance Max across all our channels and accounts. For this one, we'll select a display. Now you got two choices. Select this display standard one, put in your URL, put in the campaign name, and continue. Now, what Google has done recently, and I love this interface, is because it, instead of having a very long page and people get confused as to so many things to do, they have broken down into little chunks. So as you can see over here, locations, then we got language, bidding, targeting, ads, and then the final thing is the review. So over here, you've got a couple of things to do. Select your location and your language. And then you got a few more settings in here, which is the rotation of the ads, ad schedule, devices. We don't need to worry too much about all these. And we go next. Put in the budget, as this is my test account and just for creating this campaign for test purposes. I'm just going to put in £1 conversions. Now, previously I used to, going back couple of years ago, I always said that start with manual CPC with any campaigns you launch. But now the machine learning and the algorithm or the AI is getting better and better by the day. So what we do now is you can pretty much start off with the maximized conversions, whether it's a display or a video campaign, and then let it run. Once you start getting the conversion in and you find your target CPA or the target ROAS, then you switch over to one of these after about 40 to 50 conversions in the campaign. But for now, let it run. Even though it may give you an expensive conversion, you have to go through that process, and then it's going to settle down. Then you know your what cost per conversion or the ROAS you are getting, and you then switch over from max conversions to target CPA or ROAS. I can see quite a few questions popping in. I will come to those and answer each and every one in a bit. Okay. And before I forget, we have just started our Facebook group. After this live stream, I'm going to put in the URL underneath the bottom of in the description of this video. It's free to join, and we are building up a nice little community of like-minded professionals where you can ask any questions or share ideas about Google Ads, digital marketing. So I'm quite excited to be launching that. Lots of people had requested me before, but I had not done it yet. But now I think it's the right time for us to launch the Facebook group as well. Okay, this is where you can make or break your campaign. The targeting. Obviously, the messaging or what you say in the ads is also important. What your offer is, how your landing page has been created. But I would say targeting is literally, if you get this right, you won half the battle. The problem is there's a lot of ways to target over here. And you probably will, I won't say waste money, but you will need to test the audiences, because without testing, you don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work. So you need to allocate certain budget for the testing phase. If you are a marketer, freelancer, or an agency running campaigns for other clients, don't tell them that, oh, we're going to get started to get conversions from day one or day two. With GDN and video, it may take a bit of time, and once it gets going, the scalability is crazy. You have unlimited amount of traffic on display network and YouTube, and you can scale it. So it's worth spending a bit of money and time learning how to test, and then you can scale. So here's where you need to test everything. Now, what most people do is they are going to either select all of them like that, or select a handful of audiences. What you want to do is one audience per ad group. So this one is advertising and marketing. I'm going to rename this ad group as just that, and then I'll have other ad groups with SEO, SM services, business services, or any other relevant audiences like digital marketing, social media enthusiast, agency, online marketing. All of these are good ones for me. I'm going to target those audiences in a separate. So always remember just one. Keep it simple, right? That's the key over here. And then I'm just going to, yeah, that's fine. Next. Now you come to the ad stage where you need to always put in the HTTPS just to get rid of this warning sign. Put in your business name, add your logos, videos, up to 5 headline. Use each and every headline available. So if I do, I'm just going to write a couple. I won't go through all of it. Online digital marketing experts. Okay, now we got 32 characters, so you will get this warning, marketing, and so on. You have one long headline of 90 characters and up to 5 description lines of 90 characters as well, which you should put in. In here, you don't need to worry too much about it. What I tend to do is I tend to uncheck that auto-generated video because I don't like how they make it. And then the call to action text and colors. This is important. What do you want them to do? Apply now, book now, download, learn more, buy. So you select whatever the call to action is appropriate for you and your business. So I would say get quote. That looks fine. And then you create. Obviously, it won't let me create the ad as I haven't put in all the ad headlines and descriptions, right? And obviously the images. Now images and logos, you need to have 2 different formats. One is the landscape and one is the square. So when you click on one of them, I'm going to also, so you can select like that, or you can go to stock images. This is really good. So if I put in pay per click, okay, digital marketing, there you go. So you can legally use all of these. You will not be breaking any copyright laws. Google allows you to use them, so you can choose from here as well without having to go somewhere else and buy these images, right? Okay, and once you've done that, you save it. I'm just going to save this. So it says your 1 landscape and 1 square image is required. All right. I'll go to my library. I'm just going to do that. I'll just type in some blurb to save it. And we publish it. Once you've published it, all you need to do is go back to your ad group and rename it. We don't want to call it ad group 1. It doesn't make any sense. I think it was advertising or something like that, and marketing. Whatever that audience was, you keep it like that. If you are targeting keywords, then you can put in, let's say if I'm targeting digital marketing keywords, I would then make it like this: keyword digital marketing, and then you can put in like 5 to 10 keywords in there. When you're targeting by keywords, you don't need to use any phrase or exact match. Just put them down as broad match, and then you can have as many ad groups as you like. Ideally, you want 10-15 of them. Let them run. If you find one of the ad group is cannibalizing all the budget and the other ones are not getting a look in, then you take this ad group out, put it in its own campaign, allocate a separate budget, and that's how you would start to run your display campaigns.